Alright, looking at the formula, same as yesterday. All we have to do is take our 10,000, 3% in 10 years, plug it into the I equals PRT. Make sure you change the 3% to 0.03. And then if you did that, you should get 3,000. Let's do the same thing with the other two. Plug it into the formula. 10,000, 6%, 10 years. Plus 10,000 times 0.06 times 10. You get 6,000. And then on the last one, multiplying those three, you get 1,500. All right. You should have already traded homework and graded, and be on this video now. So we're going to get started. Pay attention. This is kind of tricky. All right. So we're going to do compound interest today. It has its own formula. The formula will give you a total account balance. So it says compound interest is interest paid not only on the principal, but also on any interest that has already been earned. So what that means is once you earn interest, it's just being put back into your account, and you're earning interest on that interest. All right, every time interest is calculated, the interest is added to the principal for future interest calculations. The calculation can be made more than once a year, but in this lesson, only interest compounded annually will be found. All right, if you are lost, you should be on the back of the first page. The formula for compound interest is K equals P times 1 plus R to the T power, where P is the principal, R is the interest rate, expressed as a decimal, and T is time in years. A is the amount in the account after 2 years if no withdrawals were made. Alright, so if I wanted to look at this first little example, Lily makes regular deposits into a savings account to save money for retirement. She deposits $1,000 each year. If her account earns interest compounded annually at a rate of 4%. So we're just going to plug the numbers into the formula. All right, here's our formula. It's already put 1,000 in for our principal. It's already got the 1 plus, so our rate, 4%. That's 0.04. This is for first year, so that's just a 1 right there. So we're going to plug that into our calculator, and what do we get? Should have gotten 1,040. Okay. So this means Lily's account earns $1,040 a year for the first year, and then subtract 1,000. So that's $40 for the first year. Okay. And now I say the first year because you'll see what I mean by first year, because it's going to change every year after that since we're doing compound. All right. If you don't have this page, just find a place where you can, if you want to do it on a sheet of notebook paper, if you have a blank spot somewhere on your notes that you can put it in, do it there. Okay, give you a second to figure out what you're going to do there. All right, so our beginning balance is $800. So we're going to run the $800 through the formula on our calculator. So we're going to type in, let's figure this out. We're going to type in 800, open parenthesis, 1 plus, interest rate was 6%, 0.06 plus 0.06, close parentheses. Okay. And then we could put the 1 there, but you don't have to because it's just for 1. But if you want to, then tap the rooftop and then 1, and then hit enter. So that's 848 for our ending balance. That's the amount in the account after 1 year. So 848. So, to find how much interest we earned, we take our ending balance and subtract our beginning balance. So 848 minus 800, and you get $48. So for 1 year, $48. Alright, so now we take our ending balance, move it to our beginning balance. So at the end of the year we had this, so at the beginning of the new year, we now have 848. Go back to our calculator, and we'll do it all over again. 848, open parentheses, 1 plus, point, catch up with plus, so, that's stuck. Plus, 0.06, close parentheses. I'm not going to put the 1 there this time. Enter, 898.88. 898, 898.88. 898.88. Now, to get our interest, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to subtract these two. 898.88 minus 848. Put that into your calculator. You should get $50.88. Okay, now we're going to take this ending balance, move it to the beginning balance of the third year. 898.88. Run it through the formula. 898.88. Open parentheses, 1 plus, 0.06, close parentheses, enter, we get 952.81. 952.81. 52.81. Subtract those two, I can't do those in my head. 952, so minus 8, down to the 8. 53.93. $53.93. Okay. Alright, so what this does is it shows us how much we earn each year. So you can notice with compound interest, you don't earn the same amount of interest every year. It increases every year because you're putting that interest back into your account. This is one way to do it. Now, if we just wanted to see if I had $800, put it in, made 6%, and I wanted to see how much I would have after 3 years, I would just put $800 into the formula and use 3 as my time. So I would say 800, open for 800, open parenthesis, 1 plus 0.06, close parenthesis, rooftop, 3 years for time, hit enter, hit up, 952.81.21. Alright, so that's, you can see that it's just giving us a balance, or a account balance using this formula. A little different than the simple interest rate. Alright, let's move on. We're not going to work these problems, but I want you to be aware of them. You should have them on STAR because these formulas aren't on your STAR reference material. But I do want you to know that there's a semi-annual. That means you're going to get paid. They would do annual twice a year, or interest twice a year. You can do it 4 times a year, or you can do it once a month. And all it's doing is taking the rate and dividing it by either 2, 4, or 12, and taking the time and multiplying it times 2, 4, or 12. But we're not going to spend time because we like simple. Alright, so you may also be asked on problems to compare simple interest rate to compound interest rate. So you're going to have to work a problem using both formulas. So it says Marlena saved $50 in an account earning 3.5% simple interest. How much more interest will her account earn in 10 years if her account earned interest compounded annually instead of the simple interest? Well, let's see how much it would have earned with simple interest. We're going to use I equals RT. Plug in. Alright, so 50 times 3.5% is 0.035 times 10 years. So 50 times 0.035 times 10. I get $17.50. So for 10 years, we only earned $17.50 in interest. Now let's see how much we would have earned from compounding. So A equals P 1 plus R to the power. So we're going to have 50 1 plus 0.035 to the 10th power. Calculator. So that's 50. Let's see. 1 plus 0.035 close parenthesis rooftop 10. Enter. And so after 10 years, they'd have $70.53. 70.52 is the answer here. Remember, this is an amount in the account. We're going to put 53 around. So we need to figure out how much interest we made. So we need to subtract our $50. So they made $20.53 in interest. So the question was, how much more interest? Well, subtract the $17.50 from it. There's a 5 supposed to be. And that's $3.03. So our answer here is $3.03. Just a second to copy it down. Haven't already. If you didn't get it all, you can go and watch this video at home. Alright, turn to the last page of your notes. We're skipping a lot. This last page sums it all up. That first problem is another comparing problem. We're going to do simple interest and compound interest. So we're going to, it says Amy deposits $750 into a college savings account, earning 4.5%. Interest compounded annually. He also deposits $750 into a same account, earning 5% simple interest. He made no additional deposits. This is how much interest does each account earn in 10 years. So we need to find out how much interest for each problem. All right, I'm going to start with simple. The simple one, I equals PRT. So our principal in that one is $750 times our rate of 5%. You notice they are different. 0.05. The time is 10 years. So times 10. Plug that into your calculator and tell me what you get. Alright, did you get 375? So good. Alright, so on that account, he made $375 in interest. Okay, well, let's do the compound now. A equals. Alright, so we should have 750 times 1 plus 0.045. It's different here. To the 10th power. Let's see what you get. Do that one on your own. 764. So 20, I'm sorry, excuse me, 72 cents. Okay, 73. Today is 17. Alright, now remember, this is an account balance, not the amount of interest. So we got to subtract 750 from that to see how much interest we earned. So your answer, subtract 750. Subtract 750 from here, minus 750. I got 414. Let's say 72. Okay, so you made 375 on one, 414, 72 on the other. So which account earned more interest? Well, the compound did. So, compound. Right, so and how much, let's just say how much more. And so we can take our 414, subtract 375. And it made about $39.72 more. Okay. Alright, next problem. Alright, all the problems we've done up to this point have only involved in one initial deposit. That means we deposit money at the beginning of the year and we just let it sit there. The rest of the examples can't be used using the regular formula for compound interest because they involve additional deposits into the account each year. So we have to use a table to do those. Now we can go ahead and label this year 1, 2, 3, 4. It says during high school, Mark worked every summer as a lifeguard. At the end of each summer, he added the earnings of $4,700 to a college savings account that earned 4% interest compounded annually. After 4 years, how much money is in Mark's account? Complete the table to find out. So for year 1, he had no money. Started with nothing. And then that year, he deposited $4,700 after he worked. So his new balance is $4,700. And how much is he going to earn? How much is he going to deposit every year? $4,700. So we can go ahead and fill in those blanks straight now. All right. So what we have to do now is use that $4,700 into the compound formula. So we take our 4,700. Parentheses 1 plus extra rate at 4%. Okay, so 1 plus 0.04 close parentheses. We're just doing it for 1 year at a time, so there's no need to do anything else. Hit enter. 48.88. So this ending balance is 48.80. Okay. So how do we figure out how much interest he made? We subtract his new balance and his ending balance. Subtract those two, so we get 188. So his first year, he made $188 just by sticking his money into the account. Now we're going to take our ending balance, say it's December 30th, 31st. Tomorrow is, next day is January 1st. How much money would he have? Well, he would have $48.88. That's the beginning balance. Okay, then we're going to add that $4,700. Take $48.88 plus $4,700. Get $95.88. Okay, now we're going to run $95.88 through the formula. $95.88 plus enter. That's 9971.52. 9971.52. So, ending balance 9971.52. So to find out the interest, we take this 2 and we subtract. We're going to subtract 95.88. So minus 95.88. Enter. That's 383.52. 383.52. So now we're going to take that ending balance, get it to the beginning, 9971.52, add our 4700, so 9971.52 plus 4700 is 1461, 14671, 52. Okay. Now we're going to run this through the formula. Just a second to do that. Okay, we should have got 15,258 here. 15,258.38. Okay. Now we subtract these two to get our interest earned. Move to 586.86. Take our ending balance, move to the beginning balance, 15,258.38. Add your $4,700. I'll go ahead and give that one to 19,958.38. And now we're going to run that through the formula. 19,958.38. Parenthesis. Plus 0.04 plus parentheses. Enter is 2756. 2756. 72 cents. Alright, subtract the new balance from the ending balance to get your interest accumulated, and that's 798.34. Okay. Returned nothing into $20,000 in 4 years. So, is that a good investment? Well, what if you just took your $4,700 and stuck it in a sock every year, the same sock, and put it in your drawer? How much would you have then? Let's take that and multiply 4,700 times 4. You get $18,800. So he literally almost made $3,000. He almost made $2,000 just by putting the money into the bank. Let it draw on itself. Alright, we have 2 more problems. I know we're getting a little long. Sorry about that. Alright, we're going to skip the second and go straight to the third one, just for time's sake. It is also a comparing problem. It's going to compare a compound interest to a simple interest. I'm sorry. It's going to compare 2 compounds. One with deposits and one without deposits. So, make a little chart. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 by 4, make it to the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put it right down here. Okay. This is going to be here. Beginning balance. Beginning balance. This is going to be deposit. New balance. interest earned. And ending balance. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do 1, 2, 3 here. And let's see what it says. Vanessa opens a savings account for college. She plans to deposit $600 into the account every year for the next 3 years. The account pays 6% interest compounded annually. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put in the deposit of $600 and give you a second to catch up. Take a pause just so you can catch up real quick. Alright. So we start at 1 year, 0, deposit 600, so our balance is 600. So we're going to put 600 to the formula. So 600, open parenthesis, 1 plus 0.06, because that's our interest rate, 0.06. Don't have to put it to anything. Hit enter, and you should get 636. Get our interest earned, subtract these two. 636 minus 600 is 36. Take our ending balance, move it to the beginning balance, 636, 636, and then we're going to add these two. That's 1236. And then we're going to run this through our calculator. So 1236, open parenthesis, 1 plus 0.06, close parenthesis, and hit enter. Get 1310.16. And we're going to subtract these two, 1236 and 1310, to find our interest. 1310.16 minus 1236 is $74.16. Take our beginning balance, move it to our beginning. That's 1310.16. Add our $600. That's 1910.16. Run it through the formula. 1910.16. Open parenthesis. 1 plus 0.06. Close parenthesis. Hit enter, and you get 2024.77. Subtract these two. I'll just give those to you. That's 114.61. So we can add these up and see how much interest we made. 224.77. Okay. So it wants to know who will earn more interest after 3 years. So we can just take our interest, add them all up, and that tells us how much interest we earned. Let's get this page a little bit. Now we're going to do, so that was Vanessa. Now we're going to do her sister. Okay. Alright, Vanessa's starting the savings account as well. She deposits an initial $1,000. Does not make any other deposits. The account pays 3% interest compounded annually. Alright, so we're just going to put her through A equals P 1 plus R to the T. Okay, so it's $1,000. 1 plus 0.03 for 3 years. That's 23. Take it into your calculator. 1,000, open parenthesis, plus 3, top 3, enter, you get this down, 1,092 $2,209.73. Okay. To find out how much interest, we do the subtract 1,000 or the initial principal from it. That's $92.73. So who had more interest? Well, Vanessa did. Okay. How much more? Well, take the 224, 77, subtract 273. You get 132.04. An extra $132.04 by making it more deposits. Now, she did deposit more money. That's $1,800. She did have a better interest rate. But you're making money on free money. That's always a good thing. Alright, you should be able to get through your homework. You're going to do all the first page, just like it says on the board. And you're going to do the evens of the second page. If you haven't turned in your homework from last night, you need to make sure it gets turned into either the teacher or your drawer back there. Have a great day. You're also not dismissed until the teacher dismisses you. Make sure all the calculators get put up before you leave.